guys, welcome back. This is Jenny from Polly's Paper Studio. Today I'm going to share with you how I created the base for this sweet little file folder tab top mini album, and then I will also share with you how I finished this one to be very sweet and vintagey and ready for the holidays. So stick with me and we will make this together. To make the inside pages of this file folder mini album, I have cut 3 sheets of regular 65-pound weight cardstock at 6 inches by 8 1/4. I'm going to come in and score that at 4, and then again at 4 1/4, and then I'm going to fold that at the score line and reinforce that with my bone folder so that I get a nice crisp crease. So when you're done, you will have 3 of these that look like this. Then you want to bring in your envelope punch board. So I am using this to create the tab tops on the edge of this. Now this is going to be a bit loud, but I'm going to go ahead and punch the first one right at the end. You see I'm lining that up right where it starts to cut, and I'm going to put my first punch there and then slide that straight edge till it meets 3 inches right here, and that will be half of the 6-inch length for the first one. And then for the second one, I'm going to do the same cut at 3 inches. Then I'm going to flip it over and cut this side as well. So this one is going to get 2 tab tops and 1 valley. So 2 and then 1 valley. Now what I'm going to do is bring this to my cutter. I have a guillotine cutter, so I just line that up with the top, and then I slide it over till I just barely see the blade here in this valley section. And then I lower that blade until I cut this right to here, and that will remove that section, and you'll wind up with ones that look like this on one side, and then it has just 1 tab on the other. So you're going to have 3 of those. I am going to add my adhesive for these. I'm going to use a double-sided adhesive tape, but you could use wet glue if you prefer. I just like that this adds a little bit of extra stability to the pages. Now watch what I'm doing. I am not putting any tape here, only along the back score line and the outside edges, and that is going to become an additional pocket once they're adhered. And now you can see too where I'm stopping just before it starts that tab cut, because I don't want to have any adhesive not sticking to something. You don't want it to create a sticky part that's going to stick to what you don't want it to. So now what you want to do, I've already got mine assembled here. You just want to line up the bottoms and attach it that way. So basically what you're going to get is a wider spine like this. This is going to be 3/4 of an inch now, because we've put in a 1/4 inch in that scored section. And then I went ahead and added the tape for the outside cover, and that helps to make this more sturdy and conceals these separate units that are added together. I'm also going to add the adhesive to each one of these portions. So I have 3 lines of that going down, just to make it easier rather than wait till I have a big piece of paper added to the top of it. So this is going to be the inside. I want to add the cover. Here's the last piece I'm going to bring in. This is 6 inches again, but I left the full length. So this was originally an 8.5 by 11 sheet of 65-pound weight cardstock. Because once you start scoring, you will lose some length to accurate measurement. So I like to trim it after I start the folding. So I'm just going to remove this first front portion of the tape. And even though this is going to be the front cover, which will fold left, I've got it turned backwards so that I can line these up a little bit easier. I'm going to just put that to the very edge of where I've added my tape and keep it lined up at the bottom as I work down, and that will be eventually the front cover when it flips over. So I want to bring in my scoreboard again. Sorry if that's loud. And it doesn't matter where you line it up, just as long as you've got that last score right up along one of the lines. And I'm just going to create a nice crisp edge by scoring that here as well, and also fold it over to prime that fold before you remove the adhesive. This will be a nice finished edge on the back of the book and leave you enough room if you would like to cover it, as I usually like to, with some matting and the coordinating pattern paper of what matches the project. And just to make it easier, I'm going to hold that flat while I bend over that scored area and really pressing that down because I want it to have a good adhesion all the way down. So now once it's open, you can see that you're going to get a nice clean finished edge on the back. Do the same scoring again that you did the first time, because you want the return on the back to be scored and have a nice crisp edge again. So I'm just gonna line that up and score it again right along the edge and pre-fold it like I did the first time. Now you're gonna want 3.5 inches remaining, because that is the width from the lowest part of that tab cut to the spine. So I'm going to measure this out on my scoreboard. That would be easier than trying to work this into my guillotine cutter. And so 3.5 is going to give me 8.5 inches, and I'll just score that, and that will give me a cut line that I want to follow to remove the excess paper. You could put this in your guillotine cutter now that you have your measurement, but I didn't bring that downstairs, so I'll just clip this with my scissors. Now is the time you want to add your adhesive and then fold it to adhere it to the back. So I'm just going all the way around for this one so that it has a good contact and also a little bit more structure when the book is finished. Now these pages are made with the 65-pound weight cardstock, but they do gain so much thickness when you start adding your paper layers that it really will become very sturdy, because I'm generally adding matting to each of the papers. So you're going to be adding at least 4 layers of paper to each page. So you can imagine how nice and thick that's going to be. Okay, so now the back is covered, and you can see that we have a nice, thick, sturdy spine that is just one piece. It doesn't have those seams now, and this is when you want to start covering it with your pattern papers and the embellishments. So for my finished project, I've got the Jubilee collection. This is very sweet, vintagey Easter pattern papers and images from authentic papers. This is not the most current collection, but it was readily available. I was able to pick it up. And so you could use this or any collection that you like. Doesn't even have to be holiday. You could just pick the one that suits you. I wanted to add a little bit of depth and dimension for my cover, so I did as like I do when I make cards, is add the foam spacers between the layers and lots of matting to keep my paper pattern separate. And then of course I like doilies, and this focal image I fussy cut around, but leaving just a little bit of a border so it would have a nice clean edge. I've added a charm here with a vintage button and a clip. Here's some pretty flowers. These are all from Really Reasonable Ribbon. I'll link that in the description below if you want to go to Really Reasonable Ribbon and check that out. So now I've got this tied. You see how the tabs create a natural notch for the ribbon to go through, and that makes a nice place to keep that bow secured. And I'm using that collection on the inside to finish these pages. Remember, this is a smaller book, so you don't want to overwhelm it with so many layers of different things it's not usable. So I just got a tip in here with a larger image, and that's a nice way to use the full image without having to cut into it. And then this set of pages has pockets that run along the side so that I can tuck in some folded inserts. That gives me room for more real estate for pictures and journaling. You can add other things to the pockets as well. Just remember to keep your pattern separate with the matting. This is Ginger Snap 2 that comes from Spectrum, which is also from Authentique Paper, so I know it would coordinate perfectly, and I'm so happy that it really is bright and cheerful. And the last set of pages has corner pockets and then larger tags and room for mementos if you like to put those in as well. And then you can put your pictures and journaling on the tags. Now, because we've only added the adhesive to the outside edge of this book, it allows the tab top sections to become pockets. So I was able to tuck in some additional matted cardstock to create a tag, and that once again adds more space for your mini album, and it makes it even more secure because that's just that many more layers of paper. So because I put 3 together, it gave me 2 inside pockets to fill. However many you add to your book will mean that many pockets. So plan accordingly, depending on what you want to include in your mini. So that is all for my file folder mini album base and finished project. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. You will find links in the description below for our social media sites. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook, and our blog and our Etsy shop. And if you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!